My name is Zvonimir. I'm a software engineer in OriginTrail, and we're going to build a very simple DKG agent today together. Of course, if you have any issues, feel free to ping me or my colleagues. Somebody will help you. And if I'm going too fast, feel free to tell me to slow down. That's no problem. So yeah, what are we going to do today? We're going to focus on creating a plugin on a DKG node. What is a plugin? It's sort of an extension to the DKG node, which lets you customize your implementation for whatever you're doing. So, like we presented yesterday, we had DMAST, we had Pharmagenesis, we had Azerfit, and those are all the projects that are, in a way, plugins on our DKG node. So we're going to be building a very simple plugin today. How will this plugin look? We'll be creating a music recommendation plugin. I guess all of us kind of like music, so it's going to be something fun for us to do. I actually tried this myself a couple of days ago, and it recommended me some really cool bands, so I hope that happens for you too. We're going to be creating this plugin, registering it in the agent, and we're going to use two tools. One is for recording this preference of ours on the DKG, and the next tool is going to be fetching from the DKG and giving you recommendations for your preferences. I'm going to show you a very simple demo as well, how this is going to look. So maybe before we start, I'm actually going to show you what are we going to build today. So, for example, I'm a pretty big fan of rock, so I'm going to say, hey, I like listening to AC/DC. Can you record that on the DKG? So now we're recording our music preference on a DKG, and this is going to take a little while. What's happening in the background is we are taking this keyword AC/DC, fetching calling some API and fetching some similarities, and then publishing all of this to the DKG as triples in a graph. And then we're going to be able to later query this. So as we can see now, our music preference has been recorded on the DKG. I'm going to show you the knowledge asset later. This just is very simple to get started. But next thing we can do is ask for some preference. So awesome. Can you maybe recommend some other artists based on my preference? And it's especially important to say recorded on the DKG, because otherwise the LLM sometimes is like, yeah, I can recommend, but not from the DKG. So yeah, now it's calling the tool to get recommendations. As we can see now, we are getting some similar bands. And the cool thing is we're also getting the similarities, like the similarity scores. Or if you listen to Airborne, which actually I didn't know existed, it was like 100% AC/DC almost. So that was pretty cool. So now we can see here we have some bands which are sort of similar. And this gives you a nice, well-rounded look of what you can listen as well if you like AC/DC. So I'm just going to close this now. And you don't have to follow this. This is just going to be some resetting for me. And now we're going to be installing the plugin. So to create a custom plugin, we first have to add our RPC. Did Nikita do that? Yeah, sure, no worries. Did we do the RPC in the client, or was that not covered by the previous version? It's done, awesome. Okay, so we can skip the first step. So the next thing we can do is now you can open your DKG nodes. We're going to start creating a new plugin. So yeah, I'm going to make it bigger, yeah. So we type turbo gen plugin. And it's asking us what do we want to name our plugin. And I just have some simple plugin music recommendations. So I'm going to use that one. But you can name it whatever you want. And now we have it's a success. So basically we see it here. We can have it, it's called plugin music recommendation. We just have to register it in the agent as well. So how do we do that? First we have to build. So in the same directory we just built. And while that's happening, let me just remove my demo agent so you cannot say that I'm cheating. Yeah, this build can last for some time, so don't worry if it's going for some time. But the next step is going to be to go to the agent folder, which is essentially the topmost folder you can see. But let's just wait for the build to finish. While that is happening, I can maybe just go and do it nevertheless. We just have to also install this plugin in the agent directory. But for that, we do have to wait for the build, and that's done. So we install this by npm install save and the name of your plugin. And that's done. So now we go to the same file where I deleted the previous plugin from. That's going to the apps agent, source, server, and then there's an index TypeScript file. So what we have to do is just import this plugin that we created right here. And that's not all. So we have to go just copy this name, and we have to scroll downwards and also register this plugin. We can register it after the DKG Essentials plugin. And
maybe Zvonimir, just give a couple of more seconds. Did everybody follow this? Where they have to do what? Maybe you go scroll back up top and back down, just so that everyone is registered.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not in the correct one, wait. So yeah, again, importing the plugin at the top, and then somewhere around the line 90, 91, oh no, sorry, my bad. 110, somewhere around that, you can just import your plugin after the other plugins. So everybody following? Any issues so far? If not, we can proceed. So we're going to be calling the last.fm API key. It's going to give us these recommendations that we can import into the graph. For this, you have to go to your environment variable file. So in the same apps agent folder, we go to the .env, and you just put the last.fm API key. I'm going to share them now. So we have this, copy it again. I'm going to share them with you, so you can just pick whatever from these API keys. Don't all pick the same one, because we don't want to be hammering the API, but just pick random one, it's going to be fine. So you can use this 4509 token to fetch these API keys. And again, what you have to do once you get the API key is go to the .env file and just put last.fm API key right here. So Brana has already spoken to you about JSON-LDs and like the ontologies and everything. So how are we going to structure this? We have our data as the artist. You see, for example, Ed Sheeran, and then what is his what artist is he similar to? We see the like, for example, James Blunt, and the match score is 0.92. So we're going to have a couple of these artists, and then at the end we're also going to publish a person, so like an artist ontology, which is going to be this Ed Sheeran, just as an some ID. So this is going to be this default person is just, for example, you, and then this says that you like Ed Sheeran, and through these ontologies we're going to be able to infer that you like Ed Sheeran, and because you like Ed Sheeran, you're probably going to like James Blunt, Passenger, and so on. And this is the query we're going to use to extract this. This is just to show you don't have to like, I'm going to share all this with you, so you don't have to just transcribe this. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So now we are ready to start working on our recommendation plugin. So now we can move on to the creation of this first tool. So if you go to your plugin now, and you go to the source folder, you're going to see this index TypeScript file. So we just click on this file, and you're going to see that it has this some things pre-populated. So the pre-populated stuff is going to be the add tool. What we want to do now is we're not going to delete this. We can just change the name of this tool. We're going to call the first tool create memory or save to the DKG. So and you have to put dashes in between. So you can't just do spaces. There have to be dashes in between. Let's record the music preference. And yeah, so cursor is already telling me what to do. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, sure. So once you put the name, you're gonna have to put the title, description, and the input schema. So we're gonna put a title to record the music preference, and this means recording what what artist the user likes. We're also fetching similar artists from last.fm and storing this into the DKG knowledge graph. This gives some context to the LLM, so that it can infer what to do with this tool and when to use it. Important is also to also give the artist as an input. So what we're going to do now is we first have to fetch this last.fm recommendations from their API. So let's just use that. I'm going to use a fetch similar artist function, and I'm just going to give it the last.fm API key, which I forgot to add, so I'm going to do that. We can just take it from the env file like before, and this is just like a simple check. You don't have to do this, but if you're using cursor, I guess it's just giving you tabs to autocomplete the code. So we load the last.fm API key, and we give it to the fetch similar artists function, which we're going to create now. So we can delete this add function because we're not going to use it. And again, the wonders of AI and autocomplete. we're going to create this URL which is getting their API. I'm going to send this to you so you don't have to like type it all out because this is just like manual typing. But essentially the API we are targeting is this one. Wait, let me zoom in a little bit. So we are getting the name of the artist as well as the match and some other things that we're not going to care for now. So again, going to the copy it and pasting this to you. Again, token 5805, so you can take it. And also now I see that we don't have this interface for similar artists defined. So let's also do that in the beginning. Oh, we already have that from cursor as well. So once you copy this from the copy it site, we can get a response by fetching this and decoding it as a JSON. Again, this is just some things you can add, but let's just remove that for now. And the data we're going to get back is going to have this similar artists here, and we can go through artist and then their match, name, and so on. So let's just do that. We go through similar artists, and then map this to this similar artists list. I'm just going to stop here for a while because I guess not everybody has autocomplete, so take some time to just transcribe this. Okay, so now that we've done this fetching of similar artists,
how far away was the board?
we can build the graph. So we're going to take this data that we got from the API, and again, autocomplete magic is going to give us the build graph JSON function. We're passing the artist and the similar artist that we got from the API. So let's just do that. And what I'm going to do here is also make your life a little bit easier, so you don't have to type all the sparkle.
Some kind of pine.
So let me just share that with you as well on the copy it.
Well, I have
And
8
graph?
this entire
I don't know the English word
for this.
but mostly we have
I mean,
have a
I
mix
knew
of
it was probably
pine.
So next code is 2047. And what we're going to do is just, we're going to paste this right into the build graph function. And you're going to see there are a bunch of errors because I forgot a return. What you can see here is there's this artist name to ID. This is just a helper function, which is essentially a regex. And since ChatGPT was invented, nobody is writing regex anymore. So has everybody copied this? Yeah, go ahead. But okay, while we're waiting, this is essentially the schema that I showed you earlier. We are building this graph and inserting for this artist, we are inserting similar artists. So we're going through this list that we got and just inserting these properties inside. And we're also using this default. Usually this would be some kind of your user on the node. So you would just encode the user ID or something in here. But for now, for the demo, we can just use the default. So the next one, 4353. I feel like a lotto girl here, just reading the numbers. Okay, guys, so we have this artist name to ID. This is one of the functions that I also sent you in the copy it. So we just have to define it somewhere up here. Oops, that's a different function. And now we are returning the graph. So now we're going to create the asset on the DKG. So what we want to do is call this context variable. If I think it's not here by default, so what you want to do is scroll all the way up to the define DKG plugin, and you're going to see maybe like a dash over here. You just have to change it to context. Oops, what did I do here? So now back in our record music preference, we are going to do a DKG asset create function. So how that's done is like this. And then we use our data that we got from the graph, and we just, first of all, make it public. So that's like this. Because we want to publish this data as public, and we also give the options. So we want to publish this for one epoch, and this is like something that's DKG specific, so we can just copy this. And we can go into details more later if you're interested. Opa.
It's working for everyone else, right? I don't think anybody's tried to publish yet, so we're not here.
Okay, just for the sake of time, I'm gonna continue, and what we're gonna get back from the DKG is a UIL. So this is a unique asset locator, which is gonna enable us the traceability of our asset. So we're gonna return this. We have this custom like return function, which is called with source knowledge ID, and this returns the content as well as the UIL that we got. So this looks like this, and I'm just gonna copy this all to you to copy it so that it's easier. And we have to import this from the DKG plugin essentials. Well, let me just copy this whole function to you. And we're done with the first plugin. So as I said, I'm going to paste the second plugin to you guys so that because we're running out of time. I'm just going to paste the whole file so you can just control all and control paste everything. So it's easier, so you don't have to know where to put everything. Let me just put it here. And this is the final copy it, so just paste this into your file. And we're going to be able to build this and run our agent. Yeah, guys, so what we do next is we run this. Okay, let me do this myself. We can just run the DKG CLI run build. Oops, sorry, I'm in the wrong directory. Yes, you have to be in the DKG node directory and then run DKG CLI run build. So this is gonna build our plugin. This takes a little bit of time, so also don't worry. And after your build is successful, you can use the same command, but instead of build, you put dev. So DKG CLI run dev. This is going to start the server, and soon we'll see the UI.
How am I doing? So I ran.
They should give you some additional.
Yeah, so once you go to the login page, you log in, and now we can, it's literally the same demo from the start, so we go, I love listening to, let's say, Nirvana, record that on the DKG.
as expected. Didn't even make the folder.
Now, like in the beginning, it's running the publishing. And this is going to take a little bit of time to transform the triples and publish everything to the DKG. So we can see that now we've recorded it. And we're having a little bug today with showing these knowledge collections. So I'm just going to show them to you, the graph on the Explorer. This is the testnet Explorer that you can try out yourself as well, once you get the URL. And we're going to ask next, what can the DKG recommend us to listen to? So that's the prompt. It calls the next tool. And now we can see that we are getting some results. Seems that Kurt Cobain is the most similar to Nirvana, which kind of makes sense. And what's really nice, we can also see the graph, a little bit buggy, but just a second. Yeah, we can see the graph and see that, for example, we have this score Soundgarden is 0.35, so you can explore the graph in the Explorer yourself. This can, of course, be like this can be improved, so we could also fetch some other data on the API about the artists, about their music, about their albums, and we could also improve our graph that way and further develop this plugin. But feel free to do that after the conference or whenever you feel like it. That's where the true unlock of the graph is. We reached the end of the workshop. I hope you had fun, and I'm going to come down there and help you guys out for everything else.